Have you ever felt that deep, unshakable feeling that something is profoundly wrong with the world? A weight that goes beyond the daily news cycle, something almost spiritual. Today, we're going to talk about why that feeling exists. And it boils down to one powerful idea. Corruption is a crime against time itself. Most people think corruption is about money. A bribe here, a stolen contract there. But that's like saying a wildfire is just about a few burnt trees. It misses the real devastation. Corruption doesn't just steal money, it steals futures. It reaches into the very fabric of time and rips it apart. Let's start with the future. Every act of corruption, every diverted fund, every compromised decision is a theft from those who aren't even born yet. Think about it. That hospital that was never built because the money vanished. It didn't just deny healthcare to people today. It denied it to their children and their children's children. It's a future stolen by corruption, a potential lifeline erased before it could ever exist. The school that remains underfunded, with crumbling walls and outdated books. That's not just an inconvenience. It's a direct assault on the potential of every child who walks through its doors. It's the next great scientist, the next inspiring artist, the next compassionate leader who never gets the chance to blossom. Corruption creates a deficit of opportunity that gets passed down, compounding with each generation. This is the ultimate impact of corruption on society. It puts an invisible ceiling on human potential. Now, let's look backward to our ancestors. Generations before us made sacrifices. They toiled, they fought, they dreamed of a better world for their descendants. They built institutions, established laws, and laid down the foundations of a society they hoped would be fair and just. When corruption takes hold, it desecrates that legacy. It spits on their sacrifices. The hard-won progress they achieved is undone, their efforts rendered meaningless. It's like watching someone tear down a cathedral that took centuries to build, just to sell the stones for a quick profit. The trust they placed in the future is betrayed. The entire historical arc of a people, their struggle for dignity and progress, is cheapened and erased. And what about the present? Corruption is a perpetual brake on our collective progress. Imagine a society as a car trying to drive up a steep hill. Every citizen is pushing, trying to move it forward. But corruption is the person secretly siphoning the fuel, putting sugar in the tank, and slashing the tires. Progress becomes agonizingly slow, or it stalls completely. Innovations that could solve major problems are shelved. Infrastructure that could connect communities and create prosperity remains a blueprint. Social reforms that could uplift millions are blocked by vested interests. We are all stuck, spinning our wheels, living in a delayed present, a shadow of the world we could have already built. This is why corruption feels so heavy, so spiritually draining. It's more than a legal or financial crime. It feels like a violation of a natural, almost cosmic, order. Under a framework of universal justice, corruption wouldn't be judged merely by what it took in the present. It would be judged by what it prevented from ever coming into being. It's a crime against potential. It's a crime against destiny. When a bridge collapses due to corrupt construction practices, we don't just mourn the lives lost in that moment. We mourn the countless journeys that will never be taken, the families that will never be united, the commerce that will never happen. The crime isn't just the faulty concrete. It's the severed connection, the broken promise of a path forward. This leads us to the concept of generational trauma. When injustice is systemic and goes unchecked for decades, it doesn't just affect individuals, it seeps into the collective psyche of a people. Generational trauma, explained simply, is the emotional and psychological wounding that is passed down from one generation to the next. When people see that hard work doesn't pay off, that the rules are rigged, that justice is for sale, a deep cynicism and hopelessness take root. They learn to distrust institutions, to distrust each other, to distrust the very idea of a better future. This learned helplessness is a poison. It paralyzes a society, making people resign themselves to their fate, believing that change is impossible. This is the unseen cost of injustice, the spiritual wound that is far harder to heal than any economic loss. It distorts our perception of reality, making us believe the corrupted world is the only world possible. So, when you feel that weight, that sense that things are not as they should be, you're not just being pessimistic. You are sensing this temporal crime. You are feeling the echoes of lost futures, the ghosts of erased sacrifices, and the suffocating pressure of a delayed present. You are sensing the distortion of destiny. The universal justice law, if it were written, would state that the greatest crime is not just to steal from a person, but to steal their timeline, to alter their path, without their consent. And that is exactly what corruption does on a massive scale. It reroutes the destiny of an entire nation, an entire people, onto a darker, more difficult path. The question then becomes, what do we do? Do we succumb to the weight, to the generational trauma, and accept this distorted reality? Or do we recognize the crime for what it is and demand justice? Not just for the money stolen, but for the time that was taken from all of us. If corruption is allowed to continue, it doesn't just harm society, it imprisons generations. This is why I created Time for Justice, to expose truth, restore balance, and end this cycle of generational injustice. We must reclaim our timeline. We must honor the sacrifices of our past and secure the promise of our future. If this message resonates with you, if you feel the weight of this temporal crime, then join this movement. Subscribe to this channel for more truth-based content that aims to bring justice into the light. If you know someone who feels this burden but doesn't have the words for it, share this video with them. Let them know they aren't alone. Together, we can hold the present accountable, reclaim our future, and finally restore the time that was stolen from us. Thank you for watching.